Hello. I'm going to call this part 3 of sexuality and spirituality, with reference to Course in Miracles teachings. I've been thinking about this subject for a very long time, and I've already had some feedback from quotes from scripture, but my main teaching source is the Course in Miracles. No offense to anybody else. There's plenty of other religions in the world that would definitely condemn sexuality. I mean, no offense to anybody. I'm simply speaking from a place of having received knowledge. Now, one of the beautiful things in the Course in Miracles is its discussion of something called the special relationship and the holy relationship. And it says that the motto of the ego when we're looking for love is seek but do not find, because in the presence of true love, the ego is dissolved. Now, the ego is a way of thinking that says, look out for yourself, don't care about other people, try and get them in a position where you can use them. You don't have to think about their feelings, you don't have to care. All that they represent is what you can get from them. Whereas the holy relationship is diametrically opposed, and the holy relationship is based on a recognition that we're all one, that we're actually brothers and sisters, that all spirit is one, and that we have a single, just one holy source, which is God himself. So in the special relationship, which is the invention of the ego, we treat the person as if they are special. We tell them that they're special, they tell us that we're special, and then we form what you might call an unholy alliance against the rest of the world. So we have this one person, and we make everything good around them and them around us. And then we employ blackmail, duty, expectations to force them to stay in close proximity so that we don't lose our resource for whatever it is that we want to get from them. So in a sense, it's not really a loving relationship at all. It's actually more of an exploitative relationship. In sharp contrast, we have the holy relationship. Now, the purpose of the holy relationship is to facilitate, encourage, nurture, nourish, and assist the spiritual development of the two individuals. In the holy relationship, the other person is a person that we feel gratitude towards. We feel connection, we feel openness, love, compassion, caring, etc., etc. So going back to this sexuality and spirituality, and I must thank the people that sent in the quotes from scriptures about immoral sex. I think immoral sex must definitely refer to the ego type relationships where somebody exploits somebody because of their power, their position, status, whatever gives them a power over somebody, they can use them with complete disregard. I mean, there's a history of in the UK and all around the world where, famous people have, particularly musicians and people like that, have had groupies that did favours for them, but they didn't really have any regard for them. They were just using them as physical bodies. You see, the special relationship is based on seeing the other person as nothing more than a body. So it's a body to use. That to me would be unholy or immoral sex, if we're talking about scriptures and sexuality. What is a body? I'm trained in Chinese acupuncture, and I see a body as a group of body cells held together by an energy. So am I looking at the energy, or am I looking at the the cells. The cells flesh out like a kind of superstructure, like a skeleton, or when they build a building and they put up a steel frame, and then they fill in the gaps between the pieces of steel. You could say, is the building the steel frame, or is it the bricks that they fill in with? In the same sense, is this thing that you're looking at here, is this an energy matrix fleshed out with cells, or is it just the cells? Now, the ego point of view says it's just the cells. There's no, the energy's invisible, you can't measure it, so it's not there. To anybody that's spiritually awake, we know that it's not the cells that are the significant thing. That was the purpose of the crucifixion. It was to demonstrate that there is an energy that holds the body together, and that energy can't be killed. That was why Jesus had to be destroyed on the cross, and then use that energy to restore his physical body. So when we look at the physical body, there are two ways of seeing it. It says in the course, you can either see the body, or you can remember the soul, you can remember the spirit. So if two people are involved in a kind of special relationship, all they see is a body. If two people are spiritually connected through the holy relationship, there's a remembrance that they are, although they do have bodies, essentially they are spiritually soul energy. And to me, I like the kind of idea of two people making love as a kind of effort for two souls to join. It says that bodies can't join, but then that would mean cells can't join. But then we have to ask the question, what's holding the cells together? And if two intentions come together, energy intentions, I always have this image of two incense sticks burning and the two columns of smoke whirling up and up together. To me, that would be a kind of divine energy. It would be some kind of, a spiritual coupling. I don't think that God would see that as immoral sex. I think God would see that as a bonding process that leads to a closer closeness between the two souls. That would clearly be approved of. It says in the course, it says when minds are joined, that's it, when minds are joined, separation is overcome, and that's when miracles happen. So we could have special relationship sex and miraculous sex. At the moment, nobody's talking about them. Well, not until I started today. So I'm just going to leave you with a few thoughts, which those are the thoughts. But I have to say categorically, what I'm advocating is not nihilism. Nihilism is saying that nothing means anything. What I am saying is that the body is not something to be worshipped or feared. It's to be used for your purpose. And if your purpose is spiritual and you use it in that way, whatever you're doing will have God's seal of approval on it. And if you're using it in some other way, it will have God's forgiveness. There is nothing to fear. God created us out of himself, and we're here to experience life and to decide what works. Well, one thing I liked about Lord Buddha was he said, don't believe my teachings because I say so. Check them out for yourself, see if they work. And this is really what we're here to do. We're here to find a way as human beings that works, and I really do hope that we find a sustainable way forward that doesn't involve war and falling out over whose body is better than who else's body and who owns the land to sustain the body, because that's what all the wars are about. They're all about bodies. War is based on maintenance of the body. So anyway, I've digressed. So I'm not saying that nothing matters. What I'm saying is that we shouldn't be afraid of our bodies and we shouldn't feel guilt about our bodies. If we have loving intentions, then God will judge us, but God will understand that we have loving intentions, because God is actually in your heart anyway. He knows what your intentions are. Okay, peace and love.